welcome back to another video. Thank you for always stopping by to watch my videos. I am super excited to bring to you this lesson. This lesson is a lesson because it is a culture. It is a culture that we have amended, we have ruffled. So I want to share with the younger generation who doesn't know that, okay, so this is what my grandmothers and my mothers and those before me were doing. If you are hearing any noise, pardon me. We are in the rainy season, but I can tell you the weather is extremely hot. I just got back from work and I was forced to bath from head to toe. So I had to quickly put this together and make this video with you. With that said, let's go into the lesson. To share with you some of the cultures that I grew up, some of the things. Is it a culture? Yeah, culture is the way a group of people live. So it's a culture. How things were done, 3 things that have changed for the better that I am so happy about. Growing up, I realized the practice of the day was that couples were living apart. So they will be in the same town, and the man will be living with either his family or in a rented apartment, and the wife would also be living with her mother and siblings in their family house. So in the evenings, this one, it was common among the married and the cohabitators, those in Panafon and Panaware phone. So whether you were married or you were training in Pana, majority of them were not living together. I don't know why they were doing that. And so in the evening, especially in my town, Asante Bekwai, Bekwai is on the map, Google, and you will see. When it's about 4 p.m., you will see children from the age of 15 to say 9 years carrying baskets from their mothers, their aunties, and to the husband's or the concubine's house. That is the man's dinner. And so the wife, I don't know whether it's the women that would prepare the meal or their mothers, but the food will be ready by 4:35. So by that time, you will see it was a common practice. It will either be in a basket or this Aja bag. There was this black bucket. Yeah, it's used by nowadays is those that sells a broke corn. Corn is common in Kumasi. Those that sells corn and then mankani cocoyam. Those people, they share. They use that as a scale of measurement. So it's either in that bucket with a lace on top, or a basket, a proper basket with a lace, not a napkin. You know, it has to be a lace. And then it's usually fufu. So the fufu will be in a big, it's not a bowl, but there's this chancing. Okay, there's this it's chancing. I don't know how to describe it in English, but then this is it aluminum? Yeah, then they will paint it. Then they will be writing some inscriptions on it. They will be painting it yellow, white, blue, those ones, or 4 square. So the fufu will be in one. Those bowls, they are not bowls. Chancing. Do you know chancing? I'll get you a picture. I'll get a picture and then put it here for you during the editing. So they will put the fufu in the the soup instead will be in the smallest. So by the time the fufu travels from point A to point B, the soup is halfway. The lace would be steamed, but then it was fun doing that with friends. I did not grow up to see my mother and father together, so that's one. I never ever did that, carried one from my mother's house to my father's, but I was escorting people do that. But now the husband and wife live together, and the advantage of this to the family, the husband and the wife, is that if your husband doesn't have much, even if he has much, assuming you live with your mother and other siblings, the man cannot be giving you feeding money as if you are living with him. That's the two of you alone, or the two of you together with your children. He has to give you more. So that was putting pressure on the men. As a grown-up, I am wondering how they were having fun in the afternoon, because the woman would go and sleep. So after taking the food to the man, the woman will follow up later around 6:30, 7:30, and then as early as 6:30 or 7, she will come back to her mother's house and do the laundry and everything there. So basically the woman will be living with the family, but will just go over to sleep. So how were they having fun in the afternoon? Then again, there was this practice that if a wife gives birth, he has to go to a family house to go and spend about 6 months, or 3 months to 6 months. They were saying that if the lady stays with the husband, there is the temptation of being pregnant again, and so the lady would go to the mother's house and spend, sometimes before the lady comes back to the husband's house, the child will be talking. And so that was the practice back then. I know people still do that, but they don't prolong it. For say 2 weeks, a month, then you go and come back. And so this is the other side. When the wife was with the husband, they were cooking together and eating together the same meal. But now that they are apart, the man will be fending for himself, and then also for the wife, because the wife is with her family. The money can't be 5 cedis, can't be 50 cedis. It ought to be something big, so that Omobe will say, oh, share your money. That puts pressure on the pocket of the men. And the other side is because the women used to overstay. By the time they come back, there would be another woman in place. I have mentioned that they were not living together. In the earlier step, I said they were not living together. So right now they are apart. They are apart, and the lady will not be going to sleep in the evenings. And those who were outside their family's jurisdiction, those who were, let's say I am living in Kumasi with my husband and my mother, and my mother is in Bepai. When it's about sometimes 5 months into the pregnancy journey, or 6 months, I will travel from Kumasi to Bepai, and I will not return to Kumasi until my child is about 6 months or so. So by the time I will go back to my husband's house, there is a replacement, and I am happy that that thing is gradually becoming a thing of the past. And the last one is, most of the Akans, predominantly the Ashantis, practice the matrilineal system of inheritance, and this is how it is. It's believed that the children belongs to their mother. So if an Akan marries another lady, an Ashanti, let's say an Ashanti marries another Ashanti or whoever, their culture of inheritance. The child belongs to the mother, and because of this, the men were not properly taking care of their offsprings. They were rather investing all in their nephews and nieces. When I say nephews and nieces, it's not their brothers' children. No, it is their sisters' children, because they know that their sisters' children automatically would be with them in their family. I hope you understand what I am saying. And so let me take myself and my brother as an example. We are two. So if I have a child and my brother also has a child, he will not be taking proper care of his children. Sometimes sometimes they would neglect their own children, and he will be spending all his money on my children, because he knows that my children will be with them, and then his children will also follow their mother, and so he will not spend everything. He will not spend everything on his own children, but will rather spend on my children. So in Ghana, we don't call our fathers, brothers, uncles. We call them our fathers. So we call them daddy, papa ketwa, that is small daddy, because they are our father's brother and they could be our fathers. But our mother's brothers, we call them uncle. Still using myself and my brother as examples, because my brother's children are not considered to be part of our family. My children are at liberty to marry my brother's children. So who of Ire, who of Abba, you can marry your mother's brother's children. And I understand they were doing that so that the riches, the families that have cocoa and those things, they will not allow their children to intermarry, so the money will spread. They want it to be within a particular circle or radius. So they will not allow the money to travel to the other side, so they allowed their children to marry their uncle's children, so the monies will stick and stay in the family. Let me know in the comment section, which of these did you know? Which of these did you see people practicing? Which of these have you heard before? Which of these didn't you know? I want to hear you share your experience or your thoughts on this in the comment section. Until I come again with another video, I want to say that whenever you say a prayer, don't forget to say one for me. And I leave you with the peace and the mercies of the Most High. Peace. Shalom. Oh yeah. Chop kiss.